What's up, YouTube? Angle of Attack RC here. Been off, hadn't been really making many videos lately, and hadn't been flying. My field was shut down for a while, so just been kind of MIA. So I started building a few of them. Anyway, this is one of the builds I've been doing. I picked this Scout up used a couple years ago, and it's been sitting for a year. So I'm thinking, I'm bored. Let's build a plane. So let me show you what I've done, the modifications here. So I will be flying FPV, which is something I'm still new to. So I've been flying FPV for about a year on drones now, because my flying field's been shut down, so I hadn't been able to really fly planes. So I took it upon myself to go ahead and jump into FPV, and been flying, small 250 sub drones around, and really enjoy the first person view. So that's what I'm doing with this one. In here, the flight controller built and running in this one will be a SpeedyBee 405 wing mini that I built out. And the mods on this system, I'll be running obviously GPS. I got a walk snail GPS sensor. It does have a compass in it, but I disabled that. And I'll be rolling solely on GPS. Here, I think it's the Mateksys system. Pitot tube for airspeed coming out the front. What I did with the servos, you can see there, I keep talking about with the focus. I even got the focus locked back here, and it won't focus anyway. You can see the receiver, the two servos that were up front are moved back there. I found a 3D printable servo replacement system, or somebody had made one that goes like right here, just to this section. But what I ended up doing was cutting out further back in that hump and placing it back there. And it was easy to get there. It had some support where I can screw them down, and also where I could mount and glue. So that worked out fabulously. And then all I did was extend this one, this cable here up to the front steering, and used a larger coupler to link them, which worked out nice. I had to use two. So basically what I did was the two lengthier connector rods that I use, that I ended up cutting from this, I ended up splicing and making the single one out of two. So I used super glue, a little bit of thread to put them together. And it was pretty solid. And then I took a piece of heat shrink with melting glue inside and put it on top of that thing. Ain't never come loose. This will probably come loose before that happens. So it's pretty solid. I don't know what it's going to be like with weight on front. I hadn't done any rolling tests with it just yet. But so far everything seems to be working and doing what it needs to. A little bit of a I wouldn't say challenge, but setting it up was a little different, obviously, from a standard receiver, let's say a stabilized receiver from Frsky. But man, after using INAV and Betaflight, man, the intuitiveness of those two software, it makes the stuff that we do with the standard RC look, child play. But this thing is set up so far. It took me like 2 days to get it done, but I finally got it there. These are obviously cables for the servos that go to the ailerons. This here is the buzzer and the USB port, so I can communicate with it. It also has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on it, so you can connect to the board, and those two options as well. I'm going to mount this down in here somewhere. It'll be when I get a chance. This cable here is just for, I got LED lights, but they're not controllable. They're just powered on, and they're cheap lights that I got from a guy at the field. Now let's go back here to the antenna. I am running a Frsky 900 megahertz. I think it's the 9MX receiver. So it's a really tiny receiver that's back in here. Then obviously I got the antenna coming here. I'm gonna put just a dab of hot glue right here to keep it in place. I'm not gonna do any hardcore gluing because I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I did run this motor up, and it barely moved the antenna, so I don't think I'm gonna have any worries with it coming out or having any problems. The upgrade to the motor is a X flash. This is a, sorry, I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I turn this off, if that helps. Yeah, so this is an X flash 2306 2550 kV motor. It's a drone motor. I got off of Amazon. They were inexpensive. I think I got 4 or 2 for like 20 bucks. And then this propeller is from E-Flight, or from Horizon Hobby, from one of their pusher planes. I can't remember. It's a little, obviously it's more aggressive than the stock setup. It started with a Vontex or Velix or something like that, the plane that it came off of. I can't remember. It's been it's a year and a half, 2 years, like I said. And I bought all of this stuff, and I can't remember the name of it. But if you look on E-Flight, I'm sure you can find that prop, or do some digging on YouTube, because I found the guy that actually did it. So I'm running a 40 amp ESC as well, which is, let me turn my light back on for y'all, which is down in here now. And I'm not too much worried about the airflow, because we still are going to have the airflow through the stock hole here, and I'll open it up if I need to. It's pulling some decent power, wide open. On 3S, I'm getting 34.5 amps drawn, which is pretty decent, because I think stock on 3S pulls about 23 amps. So not quite double the power, but that's substantial, compared to what stock was. And I think this will be a pretty decent setup. Even stock with the 4S, because I was running 4S on this too. I was beating the snot out of this thing because it was already beat to death. We got it out of a tree, actually. So, and the guy was like, it's beat up. He already had bought another one, so I told him, I'd give him a couple bucks for it. So it turned out great. I mean, it's a great flyer, and I think it'll be fun for FPV long range. We'll see how it turns out. I don't know if that antenna is going to get me, a mile or two. I don't know yet. But I'm more worried about my, I guess, the connection with my goggles and my FPV stuff than losing signal with my radio. That's as of right now. It might go out within a half mile. Who knows? So let me show you the FPV stuff that I got. Okay, so this is the walk snell system. I got the GM3 Gimbel, which is 3-axis, which is pitch, roll, and tilt, pan, roll, and tilt, which is nice. It's set up real nice. I did an update to the software on the VTX last night, and it obviously is not compatible with the old software in the gimbal. And FYI, they just started doing this. The only way to update the gimbal software is you have to have a plug that goes in the back of the system, and they didn't supply it when they sold these things. I've purchased this back in 23, which pissed me off a little bit. But anyway, it is what it is. It's free online, but then you got to wait for it to come. So you can get it with their system for free. You just got to wait for it to show up, and I hadn't gotten it yet because I didn't realize that. Because it worked before I did the update, and after I did the update, it doesn't move. Now, it will lock into place. It still does have gimbal reactions. It reacts to the moves, and it'll stay pointing straight forward. So it still works, but you just don't have your head action with when you're moving the goggles and looking around and trying to see around. It doesn't move. It just stays straight ahead, which is fine. This mount I got off of Thingiverse, printed it out. I'm gonna change some things on it. I don't know what exactly I'm gonna do yet, but I'll be changing some things. And what I did with the cabling is I set it up so I can interchange it with other planes. So this is planes that's going to be running a flight controller where I can get all of my LSD information. This is the plug I'll be using. And then the power RAN is a T30 connector, which is nice. And then I have both of those run into a single, positive and negative right out, and that will power up the Avatar GT VTX and then the camera system and gimbal. Okay, so yeah, and it's got dual antenna. We'll see. I mean, they rated at 4 kilometers, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. A lot of people online run them, and I got guys running them up to 10 miles or 10 kilometers, and they got really good signal. However, you know, they got no trees around, usually over a clear field for miles, and then they got a really nice ground station. I've only seen a couple folks running, and you know, just a set of antennas on their video transmitter and a set of updated antennas on their goggles. Very few out there, and you know, they get some decent miles, but again, it's on a field that you got miles of just farm crop. So I don't know how it's going to work with me being, yeah, we're at a high point. We got about 100 feet of trees, and you're kind of in the middle of them. I'm hoping if I get up, you know, 400 feet, I can travel, you know, a few miles out, maybe 3 or 4. We'll see. I did 3D print this, which I thought was a really nice setup, and then this base is interchangeable. So basically, you'll have screws here, or nuts you can put in the bottom of this, and then you can put your screws through. There's a different mounting plate that goes here, and he had different mounts for whatever system he had. So that looks, the weight of this one is kind of heavy compared to the stock one. I mean, it's almost triple the weight. And you know, with all this extra stuff in here, I'm trying to keep the weight as light as possible. But if I stay with the stock one, I'm going to end up having to cut this out, obviously put some plywood down, and then mount this here so it'll be on top. And I don't know if that's going to be way more than this setup with the gimbal and everything, but whichever one's lightest, I'll probably end up going with. I'm gonna buy a new one, so I'll have one to still have, and just in case I want to do line of sight flying, I could just pop this on and still have a standard cover without the FPV cover on it. So, but yeah, that's it. It was a nice, fun project. This is the first time building a flight controller. If you guys hadn't done it, do it. It's fun, entertaining. It keep you going. Let's say if you got winters or a rainy day. Learning to solder is one thing I've already have experience in. That's computer technician by trade. So, you know, hardware was my main thing, repairing hardware. So for me, it wasn't difficult to solder everything and get it on. It's very tiny, so you're going to need magnification to see. There's lots of stuff. Painless 360 online really has some really good tutorial videos, and there's a few other guys. If I can link them down, I will, at least to their websites that helped out. Josh Bartwell was one, and there was one more that was really helpful to watch before I started the project. So yeah, do it. I'm getting ready to start doing some of my jets up. I'm not sure which ones yet, but I got quite a few I think I'm going to do. I think the first one I might put this system on is, and I might do it without the flight controller just to see how it goes. I wish I could see, you know, have an artificial horizon without a flight controller, but, you know, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be capable of doing. And if we, you know, if I could, that would be outstanding. But, you know, we need a flight controller in order to see that kind of stuff through the OSD. And, but yeah, I think I'm going to try it without the flight controller in my K8 because that thing flies outstanding. And I think it'll be pretty fun to do. That way I get the feel for it. If I wreck it, oh well, I've had the plane for 3 or 4 years now, and it's been nothing but phenomenal. And they still have them online for sale, so I can buy another one if I do wreck it. And they're inexpensive. The 6S I think is like 2 something. They might be 200. I don't even think they're 200 bucks. I know when I bought it, they were like 180, 160, 180, something like that. They may have gone up a little bit since then. So anyway, but that's it. I just want to give you an update on the Scout. Once I do my maiden in this form, I think I'm going to go ahead, because this is the old HobbyZone Scout. So the foam is real shoddy. I mean, you dig at it hard enough, you're going to get all kind of, you know, some of the popcorn areas, they just fall out of place. And you can see all these little dings here. The foam just pops out of place. Like up here, you can see it's weird. The foam is not all that great. So I might end up just bringing it back once I get it down. Everything's fine. It feels good. I'm gonna probably end up just stripping the rest of these goofy stickers off and just painting it gray and making it real neat. Like I said, I got lights on it right now. Not a fan of the lights. They're just LED strips, red and green. And they're kind of dim anyway, so if I can get them off of there, put some really nice bright navigation lights on it, that'll be awesome. Because if it works out nice, I'd like to keep going with making it more legit, and then I could fly it at night too, and go from there. So yeah, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoy, and that's it. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoy. And then when I do my mating, I'll try to film it. So we'll have some content on that and let you know how it goes. All right, guys, take care.